Hello everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. So today I got out some of my glitters and UV resin and we're gonna make a Suncatcher today. And I'm going to do it completely different than the last one, well, not Suncatcher that I made, but I'm gonna be using the XTool and I'm cutting out acrylic. Now if you saw this on the screen, if you saw this one, you saw how I did it, and I used some transfer tape underneath to hold the resin in. Well, if you watched the video, you saw that the transfer tape did not hold the resin in. So I'm gonna change things up because I don't want this one to get ruined. So I went back on Creative Fabrica and I found this floral SVG cut file, and I thought that was gonna make a cool Suncatcher. So I changed it from engraving, because when it's pure black like that, that means they want to engrave that part. So if you put it onto Creative Space for your XTool, you can change the engrave to cut, and then it will outline it, and then those are your cut lines instead, so you can see how you want to change it if you want to change it any. And I just added a hole at the top so you can hang it from something. So then I sized it on Creative Space, and it's gonna be 6 3/4, I think, by 6 3/4 square, decent size Suncatcher. And I just grabbed an old piece of acrylic that I had cut already out and use the camera function on the XTool to show exactly where it's sitting. And then you just move over your little image to the part that you have left, and then you just cut it there. And I'm going to just let you watch it cut. It went in one felt swoop because I did a cut test on acrylic. This is 3mm acrylic. So I knew exactly what my settings would be. So if you have an XTool, make sure you do cut files and cut tests, engraving tests on every piece of thing, or I should say on wood if you're going to use wood, on acrylic if you're going to use acrylic, on different lengths of wood, or not lengths but widths of wood, so 6mm, 3mm, you know, all different widths of the wood or the acrylic that you're using. Do a cut file, a test cut file, and a test engrave file in every single one of them. Then you will have it forever to refer back to when you're using your XTool. So I'm just going to go ahead and let you watch it cut, and then we're going to start it. And here is the finished product. What I did was I took the actual same piece of transfer tape that I used on that piece of wood the other day, and I put it underneath this piece, pressed it down really well. But because we're using UV resin, I think it'll work better. And I didn't even plan it this way, but it fits inside my two-sided UV light, so that's going to be great. So what I'm going to do, how am I going to do this so you can see? I'm going to move this out of the way, because we could do several pieces at a time. I know it's probably difficult to see in here because it's clear on clear, but I'm just going to take these 4 colors because they all go together: Tropical Oasis, Emerald Ocean, Frozen, and Sterling. I'm just going to mix UV resin in and put them in these pieces. I'm going to cure them quickly enough. And I know sun catchers don't generally have glitter in, but if you use alcohol ink and you put this on a door in the sun, most likely it's going to fade. So since the acrylic itself is clear and you could see through that, I'm going to try it in the glitters and see what happens. I don't really have a plan for where I'm putting what, so I'm just going to kind of wing it and see what happens. So I'm going to grab a couple little silicone cups and some UV resin, and we're going to start mixing. I'm just going to take the silicone cup, and this is the clear hard type. It is not the high viscosity, so it has a lower viscosity of flow. It'll flow a little bit better. I don't know, I'll just keep adding to it if I need it. I don't know how much I'm going to need. So I think I'm going to start with the chunky one. This is a chunky fine mix, extra fine mix that I made, and we're going to start with that one, and I'm just going to mix it into the UV resin pretty good. I don't know how much we need, again, whatever it takes, so you're not seeing a whole bunch of clear resin, and I'm sure we're going to need more than this, so I'm just going to mix it up now. I think I'm going to start with the corners, and I'm just going to cure as I go. And just fill it in and cure, fill it in and cure, so I don't have it running underneath on the transfer tape, especially since this transfer tape is not a brand new piece. So I'm going to start with my little corners here. And my mind thinks like in patterns, so you'll probably be seeing me do patterns on this, so I do want a little more glitter in here. Not quite enough. I don't really want to see, although the clear won't hurt it, especially being a sun catcher. I should have thought about that. So I'm just going to drop it in, and if you want this pattern or any other pattern, this one will be available on my eBay store, since I already have it downloaded and ready to go on the XTool, and I can cut these pretty easily. If you find something else you want to cut on acrylic or wood, all you have to do is email me, and my email is in the description box, and it's always at the beginning of every video. So just email me anything. So Creative Fabrica, I have a subscription to, so please don't pay for any downloads. Just send me a picture of whatever you want cut, and I will download it, so you do not have to pay for the download, and I can make sure that I can actually cut that one, because some of them I can't change, so I do have to kind of look at it before I can commit to it. But I do know this one works, so this one is available if you want to try a sun catcher out of acrylic. So I'm just gonna fill these up, the 4 corners for sure, and I will turn this light on for a few minutes and get them cured in between, and then we will just move on to another color in another spot and keep going and see how this looks. It's working pretty good. So I mixed up all 3 of my glitters, well, all 4, including the other one. So what I think is going to happen is, well, because resin always shrinks when it cures, I think I'm going to go over all of these with a clear coat, and I think I'll use my high viscosity so it stays in place easier because it's so close to the edge. And I think also that I'm not going to fill it as much, so I could fill this in. So I'm just going to see if this is going to work. The high viscosity is so much easier to control. Oh, and I did get some resin on the acrylic, so I took alcohol on this cotton tipped tool and I just wiped it off the acrylic. So that's how I fixed that, so you don't have to worry about being 100%. And this is going to also shine up the glitter really pretty and dome the top. So I think this is the best way to do it. Now if you use epoxy, I think we would have the same problem unless you wanted to, same problem as the last project I should say, unless you wanted to go in all of these with a coat of UV resin very, very thin and cure the whole thing. But if you're going to do all that trouble, you might as well just fill it with UV resin. In my head, it sounds like the best plan. So just take a lighter, not too long because you don't want to burn your acrylic, and pop any bubbles that form. So I'm going to do all 4 of these. So you're going to be going in and out of fast forwards because this is kind of tedious and doing the same thing over and over again. But I think if you want to try this project, unless you guys have a better solution, like I said, I am all ears. This is my first time. I'm sure you guys make sun catchers. I don't make them very often. If I have ever, I may have made one. I don't know. I don't even remember making one. Definitely not one that I cut myself. I know I did one out of like a piece of glass one time, but this is a little bit different because these can leak. So just make sure your dual light lines up with these little tabs on the top and bottom so it'll cure from the top and bottom when you do this. All right, I'm just gonna get those, make sure these get out of the light so they don't cure in the cup too. Lots to watch so you don't mess anything up. All right, I'm gonna put you back on a fast forward for a while. finally done. That took quite a while, but I wanted to take my time, and so I filled everything, put clear over everything, cured it over and over and over again. And of course, I mixed up extras, so I threw them into pendants. Then I top coated all of these and back coated several of them. But these came out really pretty for extras. And then one bookmark. I didn't want to make a ton more pendants, so I just threw it all into a bookmark. I didn't top coat the back, but I probably should have, because it's got a pretty nice pattern on there. But I did do this side. I don't like making bookmarks too thick, and I've never made a bookmark completely 100% of UV resin. So this is the first time I did that, and it is solid as a rock. So that's good. I did wait to take this off with you to see how it's going to come off. I'm just going to go really slow. And I'm hoping, like I said, I've never tried this before. I'm hoping I don't pull the resin out of the actual cavities. So I'm just going to do it really slowly. I'm not going to back coat anything because there would be a front and a back on something like this. So the front is domed really nice, and it gave it a really pretty shine. So I'm pretty glad I did that. I didn't fill the cavities completely 100% full. That way I didn't have to be like a super duper careful trying to get them full with the clear. And it's coming off fine. I mean, this held pretty well, seeing that I already used it on a wood project. It's still got a lot of stickiness to it, and nothing is popping out of their cavities. So I'm just going to put this right here over any potential wet spots. So here it is. What do you think? Give me some color schemes. I can make some more of these. Now I'm going to get a cloth like this, one of these microfibers, and spray it with alcohol. You got to be really careful with your acrylics, because they will scratch pretty easily. And the little spots that I did get UV resin on, look at how fast that dried. It dried before. I'm just going to spray my rag because it dried before I could clean it. So the little spots I got UV resin on seem to be coming off like that. And they're just like little drizzles between some areas. And if not, you can pop it off with a blade. Just be really careful because acrylic can scratch pretty simple. Got to be really careful with it. So I'm going to clean this up. And that is it. A quick video for you today. I will get you some pictures. It is not daylight out right now, so unfortunately I will not have any daylight pictures. I'm going to clean up all the little spots that I need to clean. Try to get some good pictures for you. It'll probably be showing a white background just because it's hard to see anything clear when I'm taking pictures by myself and I can't hold it at the same time, so I do have to lay it on something. So you might see a little background on it, so definitely know it's not white. And when you hang it on your door, just make it sure it's really clean. There we go. I mean, it's not perfect yet, but I still have some work to do on it, so that's it though. What do you think? Let me know in the comments if you want to see anything different, or if you have an idea for an XTool project for me, let me know that too. All right, guys, well, that's it. That's the whole thing. I will see everyone tomorrow. I hope everyone has a blessed day. Bye, everyone.